Hey everybody, welcome back. We are getting ready to do some more reactions. I've done some painting, I took a bath, doing the dishes. So if you hear any whirring in the background, it's that. Although the neighbor's car alarm has gone off 3 times in the last 2 hours. Hour? Yeah, so hopefully there aren't a bunch of extra noises, but there might be. Who knows? We'll see. So I couldn't wait to get back to reacting to We Are the Wave, the final episode, episode 6. Leah was shot. It looks like it was in the chest rather than the shoulder, near the heart. Who knows? This has got to be deja vu for Tristan because his mother was shot. And we saw him imagining, I don't know if he was there when she was shot, but we saw him imagining that he was trying to stop the bleeding and that kind of stuff, part of his nightmares. So, yeah, that's going on. The original gang is there. The cops are across the freeway. And if they want to help Leah, they're going to have to get caught. So we're going to have to see how this episode wraps everything up because I don't think there are any more episodes. I think this is all there is to it. I haven't looked to see if they are going to have another season or more episodes or anything like that. I believe this was done in 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. I don't know if they were originally planning more episodes or what. Right now, this is the last one. I do have some YouTube videos that I think there's 3 that I picked. I've got them saved somewhere on my list, but I've got them picked out, and so that will be the video after this. And then by that point, I will have also watched the movie We Are the Wave, which I think is more documentary style. And who knows how long it'll take me to edit that. You guys know I'm terrible at, well, maybe you don't know, but I'm terrible at getting the movies edited. Um, it takes almost all my time to edit the shows I do upload on a regular basis. I've already discovered I'm having problems getting Wednesday up in time to do once a week. And that's an extra one I've put on my list. So we'll see. We'll see when I get everything uploaded, but those are the next things I have planned after this episode. Of course, after We Are the Wave, the series I'll be watching is Dark. So if that is a show you enjoy, that will be coming up. And I don't think I have any voting until I get to the final season of Ozark. I won't finish Game of Thrones by the end of all of this. I don't know if I'll finish Ozark first or Dark first. I think Ozark first. So that's where we're at. Okay, I think I've summed everything up. Let's go ahead and get into it and see what is in store for our gang. Just jumping in to say, if you'll please subscribe, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. And if I do reach that goal, then one of the things I will do is a drinking game reaction. You guys get to pick the movie, and we kind of go from there. So hopefully we can find one that will work well that I have not seen yet and have a little fun. So if you don't mind, please subscribe. Thanks. And I might be rooting for our gang, but at the same time, I want to acknowledge the stuff they've increasingly been doing is illegal. The guy they put into the Hitler pose, they drugged him. That could have been dangerous, much less illegal. It's illegal no matter what, but he could have accidentally been killed. They might have accidentally overdosed him or whatever it is. I don't know what it is they gave him. That was dangerous. The slaughterhouse was destruction of property before the fire, but including the fire. Plus, the guy lost property because they killed the cow that could have been used for slaughtering. They can't use it for slaughtering the way it was killed. He was impersonating another guy. They served the guests insects, grasshoppers, and crickets and stuff, caused chaos there. I don't know if that was necessarily illegal, but impersonating the guy, there's probably some kind of charge. I was trying to think the venue probably could have pressed charges for them impersonating staff. Who knows? But at any rate, we've seen their stuff gradually get worse. I don't condone any of that, but we have been following these folks from the beginning, so they're kind of our gang. I was gonna say, why is it so quiet? Stealing, destroying cars. Oh, breaking into a car to take her to the hospital. So he and Leah are going to get into trouble no matter what, because the hospital's going to have to report it. I'm assuming he told the others to run for it. Keep your eyes on the road. So they made it to the hospital. He's still out in the car. So he dropped her off and took off, which in the US, you're not allowed to dump someone at the hospital. I forget what the charge is called. I imagine the police are there also.
I'll call you back later, okay? Bye.
Oh, I don't see the cops.
She's accused of trespassing and property damage.
Oh,
And
okay.
causing a traffic hazard.
Okay, so they didn't consider it a bad enough crime to stay on site at the hospital, which seems kind of weird though. And I guess I was correct in that he shouldn't have shot because he was shooting across traffic. I don't know if that's why he's being suspended, but I'm assuming that.
Just sign the papers, Paul. I want to get this over
Oh,
with.
it's his wife.
Please, I think if
And I didn't say this, but as I was talking about him getting suspended and shooting across traffic, I think it's automatic protocol that there's suspension as they investigate any type of officer shooting that's involved in this kind of, I think it's an automatic, at least in the US, I think it's an automatic procedural type of thing, but I might be wrong on that also. Again, I can't remember if I said it with this show or if it was a different one. I think I said it for Ozark. But if Legal Eagle has done anything on We Are the Wave, I'd be curious as to what he says about some of the legal stuff. Of course, it's in Germany, so he probably hasn't. But and we did learn about his wife and son last episode and him not getting to see them. It flashed way too quick. I can't tell if that's supposed to be him or somebody else. I do see the picture of the wave, the sticker of the wave and the wave stencil. Plus, they put a Hitler stash on him with double horns. Whoever the him is looks kind of like him.
Okay, then let's meet at my place tonight.
for what?
To talk
Oh,
about what we do next.
You haven't had enough of this shit?
I, that was something else I meant to comment. I'm kind of surprised that Raheem did the last event after Paula got so upset with him about what they did to her uncle's place. Raheem seemed to look like they had crossed the line at that point. So I was surprised that he did the 99% event. But now he's having the reaction I thought he would have had before, which is he's had enough.
And we'll be better prepared. Dude, I promise you.
So he's lost his mother, almost lost Leah, and he's still wanting to do stuff.
In a month or two, you'll be back on the tennis court. No bullets flying around there, I hope.
Is that the ex-boyfriend or a physical therapist?
I'm sorry, I didn't want that.
The wave was our idea.
As much as he's been hiding, how did he find out what room she's in? He was real tiny when he lost her. I mean, he's not tiny, but young. Quit throwing trash.
The weapons factory. The internship.
Into the lion's den.
So a weapons factory is the target this time, which, if anything's a felony, or equivalent to a felony in the US, that would be it.
Morning.
Show me some identification, please.
So Tristan put their names down for that spot because this was his target all along,
It's building 1A. Go straight.
and knew he wouldn't
Mr.
be able to get
Armbruster
in.
will be there to welcome you both.
At our Meppersfeld site, we manufacture our entire range of rifles and handguns. For the civilian
So they're
market,
scoping it out.
sports,
Meeting with some friends of his.
This time you owe me more than a beer after work.
Okay.
So he's still investigating, even though he's supposed to be suspended.
Welcome back home.
Mom is pissed. Dad seems to be calmer, but still getting across he doesn't agree with her. Starting to go global. And are the neo-Nazi guys going to come back up again?
Tristan, we inspired a real movement.
I thought they wanted to
It's because
control
of
the
the spread.
narrative.
Your dad would murder me.
True. The rest of his money. So the last time he got a phone from them, what's he getting now from the carpenter? He said something about 2 shelves, but only got 1 phone. What did they give him? I guess he can't trust Nikki. And what's he going to do? Sue them for not giving him his product? That's what I tell folks all the time in doing drug screens. They left a black bag. But I tell them all the time, how do you know you're not going to get screwed over by the folks giving you the clean urine? And what are you going to do? Sue them in court for giving you a dirty urine? Is she looking for someone?
How are you?
Doing okay. Doesn't hurt so bad.
So I guess Paula forgave him.
Have you both?
No apology to Paula?
It must be the girl who was, yeah, the paper didn't say a name.
Is Hagen here? I just need to talk.
That's
to him.
right. His parents are
Yeah,
supportive.
should be home soon. Want to come inside?
I wonder if they're still supportive knowing that they're getting into this kind of danger.
Was Hagen involved in all that?
No.
He likes that she's protecting him. So she didn't wait for Hagen to show up?
It's like there's nobody home. No one gets hurt and the world is a little better off. That's
Security
the reason
will
we
still
created
be
the
there.
wave.
So what is she going to do? Is she going to alert somebody? Is she going to keep silent?
They sold weapons to dictators and terrorists, which were then used to hurt and kill innocent people.
He's using his real voice. It's coming back around to her grandfather's gun. Thought you had to do the numbers within a certain time of each other. Not a long pause before the last one. What's the deal with the bread? Ah, we're lacing it. I wonder if they're lacing it with the same stuff that they drugged the politician guy with.
Sit down with me, okay?
Does he know what's going on? Would Grandpa consider this a waste? That would be the question. Who's she going to tell?
Can I finalize the Global Peters project budget?
She's doing pretty good with that arm now. Was that air escaping from the tire? Gotta pop it first.
Shit. What do I do now?
She does do a good job of being a woman in distress. I'm assuming he's going to make a connection at some point with all of this. He just figured it out. That's fast acting stuff. Is she going to get all the people involved to stop them by being there?
Will do. Be careful.
Like a protest or something? So they're using the security's badges. Oh, okay. They forgive each other.
You'll find me?
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, see you in a few.
She's up to something else. Uh-oh.
Heads up. Up!
So Hagen's caught. Now, part of the problem is he's suspended. So with him interfering, yeah, he would stop them from doing something terrible. Gave him a visitor card. But would it hold up in court? Because in the US, there's a certain chain of things, and if they do something illegally, like searching a vehicle illegally, then anything in that vehicle can't be used in court. So I don't know if it's the same kind of thing. Now, where's Leah and everybody? How are they involved in all this? Is everybody going to die at the end of this? Is that a water pipe? Is she getting ready to get soaked?
He knows our names. He knows who we are.
Hey, please.
Shut your fucking mouth or else I'll blow your head off.
Take it easy.
I believe she would kill him.
You can't take it away from me now.
What are you doing?
You made me free.
She's going to kill him.
Leave me on my own.
Please don't shoot him.
Everything to me.
Enough with this shit. Move.
Well, I'm glad she didn't commit murder.
Everyone get back! Get back!
You've lost. Go home.
Can he legally still hold them accountable for trespassing?
We'll stay here as long as we can.
So we're back to doing peaceful protest, but they're still trespassing, which technically you're not allowed to do when protesting
Everyone else.
in the US.
I'm okay with all of it.
I was going to say, she's always been his first choice. What is she going to do? They're shooting each other with red-dyed water, right? Yeah, to make it look like a massacre. Effective.
The noise we make will only get louder and louder and louder until all of you out there find
Ah, she went back home.
She's brave, that girl.
Yeah. They all love her.
Something's going to happen with Ozzy. She's got a lot of resentment and bitterness. I hope Ozzy is not going to kill herself. Too bad it'll disappear quickly. Well, that's not in German. Oh, we're going to end there? We're not going to know what happened to Ozzy? Hello, little girl. See, I'm just so adorable. See, I get put on Instagram a fair amount. Okay, so I like that even though they were going over the edge, Leah helped pull them back from going over the edge. That was good. They did more of a peaceful protest. They were trespassing, which you're not allowed to do. But, you know, as far as crimes, trespassing's not too bad. Now, in Germany, it might be different types of laws. So I'm just commenting from a perspective as a US person. um, Something bad is happening with Zazie. I mean, she was still worked up, still crying and upset. I mean, they weren't showing her crying, but her eyes were still wet and red and a little bit swollen, and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't tell what was in the pack. It looked like possibly pills or something. It wasn't her gun. So I don't know what happened. That feels unresolved. And maybe it was a cliffhanger for a second season, but I haven't seen anything about a second season. Okay, according to Nielsen Report Canada, it's nielsenreport.ca. I think that's Canada. It says, can we expect We Are the Wave season 2 anytime soon? According to some articles and reports state that season 2 will most definitely happen. And as far as the speculation goes, the show was expected to get renewed by the end of 2021. But unfortunately, things didn't go according to plan. To put it, we're already in May of 2022. Of course, this is December 18th, 2022. And the series still hasn't been renewed yet. It's not known if the showmakers are willing to return with a second season since there has been not a single word from them concerning a new season. Could it be that the series has been discontinued? Well, even if it does, we'd still get information about it. So the fact that the show has neither been canceled nor renewed somewhat indicates that there's still a chance for a series to come back. So that's interesting. Okay, so there might be a season 2. Who knows when it will happen? If they hadn't started contracts on it by May, then here at December, there's probably still nothing. I think that was the most recent thing that I clicked on. So if a season 2 comes out, do you guys want me to react to that as well? I'd be willing to react to it. I mean, it's not one of my ones that lots of people come to see me react to as far as views. But as you can tell from my list of stuff, I don't always go by what's the most popular. So, those of you that are watching this reaction, if you want me to react to season 2 when and if it does come out, let me know. Anything you want to comment on the show, let me know about as far as behind the scenes stuff. If any of you know anything about that, that would be cool. If you want to let me know that. Of course, if there is a season 2, don't spoil it. Needless to say. But yeah, let me know. I think I was trying to think if there's anything for me to add. As far as politically, I've kind of commented on that all the way through. There were several things we really didn't get any resolve on. We didn't get any resolve on the neo-Nazi guys. That's what I'm referring to them as, since they had the Nazis kind of stuff, but maybe they're not that. I don't know. But we didn't see anything more of them. Zazie there at the end. There was something else that they did, and I was like, if they don't come back around to it, why did they show it to us? I think that was this series. Yeah. And as far as politics and what this is based on, which is how easily mob mentality and mob thinking can happen. I mean, this is a good example of how people who start talking and believing in the same thing and then they want to do something about it and they kind of become their own downward spiral. QAnon was this fringe thing that everybody knew was fringe and a little bit off and all that kind of stuff. And, next thing we know, we've got a third of the country. Well, it's not a third of the country, a third of the Republican Party, which is what, about 40% of America? Democrats are about 40%, and then there's everybody in the middle, whether it's third party or true independent or something like that. And there was a hair I could see right there. So a third of that 40% of Republicans follow the QAnon stuff, which means it's no longer on the fringe. It's unfortunately mainstream. And how does that type of thinking just snowball like that? And we kind of see it here, where that thinking just kind of snowballs and things go from being kind of harmless to being quite serious and dangerous and everything that can happen with that. Yeah, I was very interested into seeing what they did with this series because of everything that we've been experiencing in the US for the last 6 to 10 years, somewhere in there. And actually, the Pebble started before that, and became a snowball in the last 6 to 10 years. So that's part of the reason why I was so interested in this. How do people get caught up in that thinking? How did the people that were involved with the Nazi movement get so caught up in the Nazi movement? Couldn't they see what they were doing to people was so wrong? Killing these people, putting them in encampments just because of religion or their sexuality or because they were disabled. Th- Those are some of the biggest groups. I think if you were colored as well, wasn't it? If you were a person of color, was one of the groups. There's like 6 groups that were kind of the main groups that Nazis would put into encampments and kill and stuff like that. And of course, everybody knows about the Jewish people. But then you had your LGBTQ and your disabled people, I think, were the next 2 biggest groups. But I might be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've read that material. But how do you get caught up in this thinking that it's okay to treat people that way? How do you get caught up in this thinking that it's okay to hurt somebody else just because they have a different viewpoint from you? How do people get it in their head that it's okay to attack law enforcement when they're doing their job? Not trying to defend law enforcement. I've worked with law enforcement all my career. It's something we have to work together. It's just one of those things in the mental health field. Sometimes law enforcement has to get involved. So I've worked with law enforcement all my career. I know a lot of great cops out there, but there are some that are not great. Now, some of them are not doing anything wrong. They're just not the best people to be handling that situation. But then you've got the cops out there that are just doing wrong. So, not defending cops, but the January 6th is probably the biggest, most recent big international thing that happened because it wasn't just the US it affected. The whole world watched it. The whole world watched it happen live. And everybody's going, what on earth is going on? Why are these people doing this? And you can see the same patterns of things, of thinking, of attempts of things happening in Peru and Venezuela and Bolivia. And where else have we heard that type of thinking? I can't think of it off the top of my head. One of the things that the US is very poor about is paying attention to the news in other countries, whereas other countries tend to be more knowledgeable about things that are happening worldwide, especially in the US. So I've kind of been interested in all of that kind of stuff for a while. And so that's one of the reasons why We Are the Wave was on my list as a docu-series, because not only am I interested in crimes and stuff like that, like I want to react to Dahmer, and I've done the Cecil Hotel and the Night Stalker. We did that one, which I happened to do right before, was it season 8 of American Horror Stories? The 80s themed season of American Horror Story. I just happened to time it right before that, not knowing that it was going to be in that season. But I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. Even though I don't know how to talk to folks who are on the fringe, I do want to try to understand, how do they get caught up in that way of thinking? How do they get caught up in defending that behavior and that kind of stuff? Because if I was acting that way, I know they would be going nuts saying, why are you letting her behave that way? So, yeah. So thank you all for watching this series with me. Like I said, I am going to have a YouTube reaction after this one. There's 3 different YouTube things, but I'm going to put it all into one reaction. And then eventually I'll also have We Are the Wave, the movie, reacted to and put up as well. The series after this will be Dark. So if you enjoy that series, please join me for that. And if there's anything else you think I would be interested in based on any comments I've made or anything like that, please comment below. Thank you all for joining me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.